I wanna be a modern Jedi, master my mind for a change. Don't you wanna be a Jedi? Slip right out of those chains. Slip right out of those chains.
Hey, this is Mark Shepard, and I think I have to share a little bit of my story with you. I think it's time to share a little bit of that. And many of you know I'm a songwriter, and when I was 8 years old, I saw a concert by a guy named Pete Seeger, and he's celebrating his 90th birthday this year. And I was so struck by the fact that here's a guy who was using music, and he was also telling stories in a way that was changing the world. He had ideas, and one idea was to clean up the Hudson River. And he came up with the idea of building an authentic Hudson River sloop. And he managed, because he was a performer, because he had a stage, he managed to get people's attention. And he got people involved. The sloop Clearwater goes up and down the Hudson, and it educates people, and the Hudson River is cleaner than it's ever been. And that's just one example of someone who lived their life on purpose. The point I'm trying to make is that I am pursuing my passion, not just music, because music really isn't enough for me. It's not enough for me to write songs and sing them. It's good, but it's not the whole piece, because at some point in my life I couldn't perform at all. I couldn't sing. It was so painful. I had all this music and I couldn't seem to get it out. I couldn't seem to tell people about it. I made all these CDs and I couldn't sell them. I had the CDs, but I couldn't say, hey, do you want it? I couldn't pick up the phone and call a record company and say, hey, I'd like to play my music for you. I think, I have something you guys would be interested in. Couldn't do it. Couldn't call an agent. Couldn't call a manager. Couldn't get any help. So I ended up basically not doing anything with my music, like probably millions of artists and musicians who have a lot of talent but don't have the ability, because of their artist nature, because of their sensitivity, to get it out into the world. So I began to study. I do have insatiable curiosity, and I do love to learn, and I began to study energy healing, and I began to work on myself, and I read every book I could find in the self-help category on how to change stuff. And eventually I stumbled upon NLP, and with NLP I was able to make really rapid changes. In fact, one day I was reading a book by Robert Dilts called Changing Belief Systems with NLP, and I went through one of the exercises. And it was literally, I found out my true beliefs, I hold them right here in front of me. And the beliefs I want to be true, I hold to my left. And old beliefs I hold down kind of behind me and to my left. And I realized I had this belief that I was shy. And that was right in the center. Boom. And so I dropped that belief down, and I pulled in the belief that I am really outgoing and I love people and all kinds of people, and I just kind of anchored it. I locked that new belief right in. Woo. And then the doorbell rang. It was kind of a weird coincidence, and I went downstairs in the apartment building I was living in at the time, and UPS was delivering a bunch of stuff, and they had a delivery for me, and there were a bunch of other people, and I was just hanging out and making conversation with these people. And up to that point, I was living kind of anonymously in this huge apartment building, and I didn't know anybody, and I didn't feel like I could just make conversation with people. And all of a sudden, boom, that had changed. And now pretty much everywhere I go, I can talk to people. I talk to people on the street. I say hi, and I can carry a conversation, and I began to do networking, and that was just one small thing. And I thought to myself, wow, this NLP stuff gave me the fastest results of anything that I've done. A lot of the self-help books were like, oh, you have to have this new belief. You should believe this, or successful people believe this, the 7 habits of highly successful people. But they don't tell you how to actually make those changes, how you organize your inner world and move stuff around so that you can actually get a change. So that's kind of one piece of the story. It occurs to me that there are people out there who really need this, but they don't know they need it, and they're not interested. And there are people that know they need it, but for some reason or other, they're not able to take the steps to do it. And there are people that want it. And in the past, there were a lot of people who seemed to want it, but they couldn't really make the financial thing happen. And so that's one of the reasons I really lowered the bar, lowered the price of the NLP training. It's about making something really accessible and making it powerful and making it usable. The idea is to create a process that can help as many people as possible. I know you are incredibly talented and you are incredibly creative and you have things that you want in your life. Either experiences you want to have or things you want to do or people you want to be with, relationships you want to improve, an idea for a business that, oh man, if you could only put together a team or the resources to do it or the courage to do it, you could really blossom. So that's what this course is all about. It's about getting the tools to transform your life. And if you want, you can get certification, and that's great. But the bottom line is this is something that you can use no matter where you are, no matter what you do, to improve what you do in such a way so that you can take who you are to the next level. I really hope you'll join us. Go to modernjedi.com if you're not there already, and go to the NLP trainings page right at the top. Click the NLP trainings and just join us. All right? It's as simple as that. Thank you very much for listening, and have an incredible day. Why does it work out better than you can possibly imagine?
I wanna be a modern Jedi, master my mind for a change. Don't you wanna be a Jedi? Slip right out of those chains. Slip right out of those chains.